Is online dating worth it to meet a Filipina or women in general? Have you tried it multiple times without success and are just frustrated? Do you now think all these platforms are full of scammers? But wait a minute, are the dating platforms really to blame? Probably you just didn't have the right know-how to avoid falling for scammers online. My name is Götz and I moved to the Philippines 10 years ago. Now at 60 and with a lot of personal experience in online dating, I would like to share some tips and tricks with you so you can find your partner without getting eaten by the sharks. Online dating itself isn't bad if you follow 3 simple principles that I will explain to you in the next 15 minutes. Yes, I admit as a younger man I made many mistakes in online dating myself. The idea of meeting the woman of your dreams at a distance of 10,000 miles isn't easy. So I definitely had the same experience as you now and made the same mistakes as many other men who now contact me for advice. I promised you 3 survival rules, so here comes the first one. Before you dive into online dating, you should ask yourself 2 questions. First, how emotionally stable do you feel right now? And second, how strong is your self-control? Regardless of whether you are messaging women from America, Philippines or anywhere else, do you have your emotions under control and are you emotionally stable? To explain what I mean, let me give you a few examples. I have spoken with many men who have taken the step abroad. Each had their own story, not only financially but also emotionally. There are men who were fortunate enough to lead a calm life. Others were married for decades and are now single because their partner is no longer around. Still, others have had multiple failed marriages, and then there are the men who had been single their whole lives. Not out of love for the single life, but because their encounters with women always went wrong. So, think about which category you fall into. Consider carefully where you stand before you proceed. Reflect on your last 10 years. Where were you and what did you go through? Only with clear self-awareness can you decide if online dating is right for you. A bit of self-reflection never hurt anyone. If you've been single for a long time and have little dating experience, by that I mean maybe you had a few dates with different women, but it never led to a second meeting. If you have little experience, then your chances in the online dating world are not good. Or if you just came out of an emotionally draining relationship, then please stay away from online dating for now. This is not the time for flattering chats with young, attractive Filipinas. Because you will overlook all the warning signs because you are currently too emotionally needy. And believe me, the scammers on dating platforms know exactly how to exploit you. Particularly men who are emotionally unbalanced and can't control their emotions are easy prey. These are harsh words, I know, but they are true. So take the time to evaluate yourself before you dive into online dating. You will thank me later. And every dating platform works differently. As a rather poor example, let me briefly touch on free dating sites. You can sign up for free and immediately contact all the pretty young girls without any extra cost. But think about it, free also means unchecked, and that's a paradise for scammers. Do you think the operator will pay employees to check all these profiles? And even if a scammer gets deleted, they create a new email in no time and are back in the chat with you 5 minutes later. Believe me, with free offers you get what you pay for, especially as a man, nothing. And think again. You want a partner for the next years of your life, but before you even embark on this adventure, you're not even willing to invest in your shared future. But do you want to find a serious and lifelong relationship? Then, for example, christianfilipina.com would be a very good place to start. christianfilipina.com has been around since 2009 and has facilitated many successful marriages over the past 15 years. Given that the Philippines is a predominantly Christian country with strong traditions and beliefs, a platform built on these values is a good choice. And the offer includes, among other things, Romance consultations and a second opinion if you are unsure about one of your acquaintances. You receive support to ensure that the person you are talking to has serious intentions. You can find the link in the video description, so sign up for free at christianfilipina.com first and then let me know how it goes. I would love to hear about success stories or even less successful experiences so that we can all benefit from them. And as mentioned, the Philippines is 90% Catholic. Unfortunately, this results in a significant ongoing issue, the lack of divorce. Currently, there is only marriage annulment, which is cumbersome, lengthy, and especially expensive. This is also one reason why many married Filipinas can be found on free dating platforms. They want a new partner but do not have the money for an annulment. Who can blame them for seeking an online white knight to help them start a new life? However, caution is advised. Dating a married Filipina is always risky, especially if you plan to visit her in the Philippines. Therefore, I have created a separate video on these issues, which I highly recommend to help you avoid these pitfalls. But back to your emotional situation and how to avoid falling victim to scammers while online dating. A look in the mirror never hurts, especially when it comes to dating. If you are fresh out of a complicated relationship or a divorce, please take a break first. Stand firmly in life again before you start searching. And ask yourself, what do you want? Traveling, staying in one place, or constantly being on the move? Only if you have this clear can you find the right partner. Many men forget to think about their own desires for the next 5 or 10 years or more. And then they meet a woman with children who seeks stability, while they might want to explore the world. Therefore, understand that before you can search for your dream woman, you need to be clear about what you want. Only then you can find someone who truly fits your life plan. If you want to be constantly traveling, you don't need a woman tied to her desk job. She should accompany you, right? And as I said, you must be emotionally balanced. I used to chat a lot with women online, and in one of the chats I noticed something strange. I kept my distance, made it clear that nothing would happen between us, but we could stay friends. Later, she openly admitted that she was only looking for someone to pay for her marriage annulment and that she was already living with another man. Remember what I said initially, some emotionally unstable man is surely out there, in love with his married dream woman, unable to fly directly to her and therefore sending her money for the necessary annulment papers, only to stand lonely at the airport a few months later, realizing she probably married someone else. So be aware that scammers are everywhere. These fraudsters, who might not even be real women, have schemes where you end up being the fool. Some women are not looking for you, but for a ticket to another life. If you let your emotions guide you too much without using your head, you'll quickly find yourself with nothing but expenses and disappointment. The less reputable a dating portal is, the more you can assume that 80 to 99% of the women have an agenda that has little to do with an honest relationship. A free online dating portal with only good women? Very unlikely. If you want to find someone you can trust, you need to take control and, yes, you guessed it, invest some money. A reputable platform offers more options and control. You can search more efficiently, your profile will be highlighted, and you can better see who has viewed your profile and how often. This saves time, and time is money. But continue to stay vigilant to avoid unpleasant surprises. Now I hear you saying, yeah, right, then I lose $10 or $20. Yeah, exactly. Then you will end up as one of those guys who say, she seemed so great, I flew to the Philippines and then she disappeared with my $2,000. But even if it wasn't $2,000 you sent her, what did your possible pointless flight alone cost you? So investing in a serious platform not only increases your chances of finding a genuine partner, but also helps you avoid these costly mistakes. Always stay cautious and think things through before making any big decisions. In short, invest wisely. Better to spend $50 a month for a year than lose several $1,000s, right? There are no guarantees, but there are better chances. You wouldn't choose the cheapest provider for everything when building a house, would you? Sometimes you have to invest more to avoid being the fool in the end. I promised 3 survival rules, and here's the second: self-control. You need to honestly ask yourself how you stand in this regard. You don't want to be the guy who falls for the first attractive woman who shows him a little attention online. Using dating sites requires practice. It's like in sports, no success without training. You send many personal messages and see what the market has to offer. But be honest, you know nothing about the woman who personally responds to you at first. You need to converse with them to find out who is worth investing your time in. And I guarantee you, while chatting, you will encounter warning signs. The beginners ask for money directly. The professionals are more sophisticated. They invite you to a messenger because they don't want their dating profile to be suspended for explicit money requests. And on the messenger, the request for a few dollars comes quickly, often after they have sent you some unsolicited suggestive photos. Recognize these signs and maintain your self-control. Don't let yourself be manipulated by emotional appeals or flattery. Remember, genuine relationships are built on mutual respect and trust, not financial transactions. Always keep your guard up and think critically about each interaction. Another red flag is high-gloss photos in the profile but excuses when it comes to video calling. The internet is bad, or I don't have money for video calls. Sure, modern phones take good photos, but look closer. Do the lifestyle photos by the pool of a luxury condo fit the life of a simple woman in the province? I sometimes wish I could sit next to some of you guys while you browse your options. Block her, block her, block her too. But what do you guys do? Wow, she is cute and that skimpy bikini, and bam, full speed ahead through all the red lights into the iceberg. But warning, don't think you're smarter than a young woman from the province just because you watched my video. If you think you're smarter, she's already won. It's not you thinking, but him whispering, oh, she's pretty, don't worry, I have this under control, I'm smarter than her. Meanwhile, she has already informed her friends, and you get even more chats from young women in bikinis. What you don't know is they are sitting together in the same room, working together, sharing what you say to get your money. So if you have a problem with him while dating, my pro tip: there is waterproof phones. Go chat under the cold shower. After a week, you will have blocked 90 out of 100 sexy women and lost no money. And above all, read the comments of my viewers under the video. They have many good tips and know many other warning signs. This way you can sort even more safely. And now you found this nice young woman and have been chatting with her for weeks. Third and final surviving rule: avoid the downward spiral. You need to be clear about another fact. You're chatting online. You are not madly in love. Sure, feelings can be there, but they are based on knowing only 2% of the woman, mainly her sexy photos. Think of an iceberg. 98% of her life is hidden from you. You only see what she wants to show you. You have no idea who she really is until you spend time with her in person. The prelude to this abyss always starts innocently. You begin chatting with a woman. Her name appears only as Sexy Girl 18, or maybe she's serious and goes by Christine. Nevertheless, your first question should be, what's your real first name? Because often the girl uses fantasy names. Next, ask where she lives. If she says Davao, don't just accept it. Ask if she really lives there. Many people fake their addresses online to be found more easily. You also search in Cebu and not in Tabugon, right? So after exchanging pleasantries, the conversation goes deeper. What are you looking for here? Is the question of the day. And then the spiral into the abyss starts to pick up speed. You talk about walking on the beach together, music, food, she likes many things you like. After many days of deep conversations about existence and which rice tastes better with chicken, one day you say, it's late and I need to go to bed, and she replies with, I love you. Here's the abyss. Turn off your phone immediately. Never, under any circumstances, reply with, I love you too. This is guaranteed to be the biggest mistake you can make in online dating. By doing so, you automatically pull yourself into the spiral of exclusivity. You didn't turn off your phone last time, replied with those 3 magic words. How unfortunate. Honestly, I don't see any real chance that you'll come out of this encounter without losing money and emotions. But you turned it off and didn't reply, and now the next day her question is burning into your eyeballs. Do you love me too? Translate and copy this sentence as your response. You are a wonderful person and I really enjoy talking to you. But please understand that I can only talk about love after spending actual time with someone, not just chatting online. This is the pure truth, and any other answer will not steer you away from the course towards the abyss. Be aware that you are just chatting, nothing more. You might know 2% of her. The rest of her life is happening thousands of miles away, and you have no idea who she really is until you've spent time with her in person. And don't come at me with, we've been chatting for weeks. There are still 98% of her that you don't know. You don't know how she is when she's tired, bored, or stressed. You have no idea if she's married or has children. Be honest with yourself and realize that you basically know nothing about her. You only know what she tells you. Can you verify it? And the same goes for you. Have you told her that you were in prison 6 years ago, or that you're broke? These are things you also wouldn't immediately tell any woman, right? That can wait ideally until after the wedding, okay? So if you managed to avoid the I love you trap, stay vigilant. Continue to keep your emotions in check and remember the reality of your situation. This approach will help you navigate online dating more safely and increase your chances of finding a genuine relationship without unnecessary heartbreak. And now I hear you saying that she's your soulmate and that you want to marry her as soon you land in the Philippines. Wonderful. You've created an image of her based on stunning bikini photos and sweet stories, an image formed from fragments, and you fill in the gaps with your own fantasies. Remember what I said at the beginning about emotional stability. Be careful not to become emotionally unstable just because she says I love you. If she keeps saying I love you, tell her clearly I enjoy our conversations and want to keep them going, but until I land in the Philippines and we spend time together, I wouldn't say we are in a relationship. Now you might say, in my experience, all the women then end contact with me. To this I guarantee you that the women who are genuinely serious will patiently wait for you. Remember, the women who break off contact have their own agenda and do so because they realize they won't reach the goal of their dreams with you. So just stay on your side of the line. We are great video pen pals, nothing more from now. If you follow these 3 rules, if you are too emotional, avoid dating websites for now. Self-control, when red flags go up, pull the plug. And most importantly, don't let yourself fall into the I love you abyss. If you remember this, you should start enjoying online dating and realize it actually works. And feel free to consider trying christianfilipina.com. The link is in the description as mentioned. I strongly believe I've made you swim-proof, so go ahead, jump into the cold water, because what sharks do you need to fear now?